Good morning. This is Shante with Brown Sugar Talks. Anyway, y'all, so today I am talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So the reason why I wanted to do this is because yesterday I got into I don't think it I don't really argue or whatever, but unless it's for real, unless it's about my kid, but it is something where Mr. Let Go was saying that that's what boys need, but also girls need it too, and girls need it more so because of protection. So sometimes I think about it when I was in a realm of men where we were friends and all this different stuff. I was more protected because they'll be like, no, dude, get the fuck away from, it's almost you can't fuck with her, that, get the fuck on. I know you nigga, get the fuck on. And so then it's when you out of the realm of men, then that's when I feel like that's when most of the problems occurred. And I felt man, that's fucked up. So when I'm trying, I guess I'm not trying to do anything. It's with that part of it, I didn't realize it until one day I sat down and started writing. So that's what came through. That's what God sent me. But it's the truth too. It's because I didn't have the protection I needed around me, I was susceptible to different types of people and their evils and all this different stuff. So I think it is true that when you have guys as friends, they protect you more than when you don't have guys as friends, and especially good guys, because good guys will be there for you. Even the bad ones too. I mean, for real, I had some bad guy friends too. It is they was hoes, but they weren't hoes with me. So that's the whole thing. It's that's what I noticed. But what I found out too was as I went through everything, I realized that I always wanted my daddy. It was that was one of the letters I wrote. That's the one that was stolen from the mail. Mark, the alpha. I'm telling every fucking chance I get because I hate y'all. So anyway, what is it? So once that was anyway, so what was established is that what am I saying? So anyway, what was established is that I noticed that I just always wanted my daddy. I didn't care. I had my stepfather. It was great to have my stepfather, but my stepfather wasn't allowed to be close to me. And when I say not allowed, this is what I'm talking about. When you have a relationship with another man in the house, it always was well, if he touched you, he did not do anything to me. But I'm saying that's what it was. It was it was just always said to us, if he touched you, then say something. The person that was closest to us in the house, but not even, they wouldn't do that when it came to other people. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, our relationship never got to be close as it could be, because he wasn't allowed to have certain types of relationships with me. He couldn't whoop me. He couldn't punish me. He couldn't do any of those things. And so even with that, I did learn to have a sense of power though. I knew that with men, I think that it had to be that way because I would have to fight. I actually did have to fight. And I ain't really trying to make up no Color Purple story for real. But I have had to fight. And so that was the whole thing. I don't think I would have ever been able to fight, especially stand up against a man, if it wasn't for me having to stand up against my stepfather. And he might look at it different, oh my God, this bitch, for real. But I would fight him. I mean, I didn't play. It was just he not gonna take care of his kids. I would fucking fight him. It was I actually fought him one day because one Christmas he was late to see my sisters, and he had the other woman. Oh my God, y'all, I could have beat his ass. You heard me? And I'm 15, 16 years old trying to fight this grown ass man, but I was because to me, I was how the fuck you gonna talk about my daddy and he take care of me and you right here in this Illinois state and you ain't man, I was pissed. You heard me? So anyway, what I'm saying is that girls need their father too. It's not always just about the boys. Girls actually need their fathers. And I feel also when they in college, that's when they mostly need them because that's that protection that they need. That dude see your daddy coming to pick you up and drop you off, I'm pretty sure he not gonna try shit with you. He not gonna be crazy. You understand what I'm saying? It's he gonna be on the right path to do the right thing. And that's all I'm saying. It's like, for real, you really do like need your fathers. And that's why it was like, wait a minute, I don't agree with you, because you're not thinking about everybody. And I always think about my growth. I'm not trying to tell a man what to do. I'm not trying to tell a woman what to do. I'm thinking about the human need. So that's when I brought up to him, like, I'm just thinking about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So the lower level says that it's a physiological need. This also includes sex, because again, I always got to come back to sex. So air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, and reproduction. That is like the basic human need. If we want to survive, that's what we're going for. We're going to have food, water, shelter. We want to have a good place to sleep, some nice, comfortable clothes, and we do want to be sexual. Like, that's something that we want. Like, it's going to be like the whole sexual need or whatever. But this is the thing. I don't always agree with this, because it's like a rotation of what you need. Like, it's almost like what Maslow was saying is like, until you get all these needs met, you will have to, like, you will never want to be self-actualized. Like, you will never want to be the top. Well, the thing is like, some of us, okay, I agree with him now. I'm sorry, just into my thought process, because what he really is saying that we are born with self-actualization. And so it's like, self-actualization is just something where you just know that you know who the fuck you are. So that's why sometimes it's like, I see the memes, I'm like, I can't really agree with that, because that's not really what it is. It's like, sometimes I see memes where it's like, where somebody's saying, oh, I pretend to be this until I'm this. And it's like, really, you're not, baby. That's who you are. You're not pretending. That's who you actually are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have to pretend, it hurts a little bit. If you have to put on a show, it kind of hurts. Like, it's not really you. So eventually that real you comes out. So that's all I'm saying. It's like, you can't continuously think that it's okay for you to pretend to be something that you're not, when really all you gotta do is be yourself, so that you have that greater feeling about your own self-actualization. So for me, I feel like it's like, yeah, it is like, it's a pivotal point. I really did think that, I really was about to think that you would have to like he thought that you start here and then, no, but you born with it. So it don't matter if you have any of those things. You could be lacking something. Something could not be right. I remember I used to be musty all the time. That does not mean that I don't have self-actualization. So it's like, like, it's just like, you have to know that this is something that always happens. So that's all the person really wants to get to. It's like, as I went through life, I realized that the reason why I was grabbing at so many people and holding on to their memories and not speaking not speaking about anything is because I was listening. I was always listening or whatever. I already knew what I wanted to be. I already knew what I wanted to do. And that was just my self-actualization. Like, it was just like that thing that I knew that had me. So that's why it was like, I danced in the basement. I sang in the basement. I watched movies and made up shows and all this different stuff and wrote and all those different things, because it was just something that I knew I wanted to do, and it has not changed. Like, that whole vibrance and everything that I used to have, I still have it, even from a kid. So, and I don't feel any older. I don't know why. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I do not feel older. So I don't know. It just feels like I scrape my knees sometimes, or maybe I sting my toe. It doesn't feel like I'm creaking. I don't know. So anyway, that's the whole thing. I think that's the whole key to it. So what you want to do is give kids something to latch on to, something that they hear, something that they see. So it's all these different types of, and this is when you go into the other person, his name is like, which I really believe in. It's another theorist who has like these different learning modes or whatever. I believe in this because I always got in trouble because I'm an auditory learner. So because I'm an auditory learner, people always think, only time I don't get in trouble is when I'm in a honors or AP class, because they know, most of those teachers know. So, and you have more freedom, really, you do. And they have more freedom too, because we really are paying attention. Like, it's like, because I'm an auditory learner, I felt like it was important. This educational theory was important to me because because that's how I listen. Like, I listen and I write, or I listen and I learn. And even though I'm a good reader, I'm a visual artist, but at the same time, you can't give it to me visually. I have to hear it. That's why music is important to me. That's why I can hear the beats. That's why I can hear when he went down on the note and come back on the note, because it is so important to me. it is more important. Like, I don't even think people even understand. So being an auditory learner, again, it was important to me to think about the different types of learning styles. That's it, the learning styles. I forgot his name. I think, is it Piaget? I don't know. The different types of learning styles for children, because sometimes you could be in your classroom and you could be totally thinking that this kid is not paying attention, and the kid is actually paying attention. And the kid is still, like me, grabbing at the world. So you have visual is spatial. Then you have oral, which is auditory or musical. You have verbal. You have physical, which is kinesthetic. You have logical, which is mathematical. Social, interpersonal, and solitary, which is interpersonal. Schools are set up to be verbal and auditory, only physical in the gym, and logical in the classroom. They also have social and solitary. A lot of times now schools are trying to incorporate all 7 different types of learning styles, but it's not enough for me. Like, I feel like it's not enough because your kinesthetic learners are always left out in the classroom. A kinesthetic learner may be a kid who moves around a lot. A kinesthetic learner may be able, move a pencil or whatever. I'm kinesthetic too, because during class I had to click it. Like, it made me feel good to click the pencil. It was like I used to fidget a lot. Not because I wasn't paying attention, not because I didn't care. It was all because that was it. I was lucky that I was inside of a honest classroom, because again, if I was in a different space, somebody would say I'm not paying attention, or somebody would want me to give them my eyes, or somebody would want me to give them my fingers or whatever. They would not let me fidget. So that also made me a better teacher, because I understood students that moved around a lot. As I get older, I can't take it. But what I'm saying is, it's like, that's why it's like, I think it's important for us to think about these things. So when we come back to this idea that guys need other male role models in their life, they do, but they also need positive role models, period, to grab from. And I'm sorry, I'm not a man, but I'm a human being. And so it's like, when I think about it as a human being, that's what I did. I grabbed from those things. And so when he also said, well, they have to be positive, it's like, well, sometimes you also learn from negative too. I had a lot of negative people in my household, and for me to come out so positive, that's it. But the negativity depressed me to a point where I knew that I had to fight back. So listen to what happens. This is your window of tolerance. So the negativity pushed me through the window of tolerance in a distress mode, or extreme distress mode. So either I froze, right, or I had a fight or flight. So either I froze or had a fight or flight. Most likely I froze. Froze means that I become depressed, okay? Meaning that I don't show my personality. I don't show who I am. I cannot speak out about what I need or anything else that I need to do. But what makes me feel human is then to bring out my personality, to therefore comfort myself as being human, because you only going to be so down for so long before you start to find another way to get yourself out of it, to be human again. You guys understand? So it's not when people write the meme of and I'm just telling you how this relates to your life. All this shit they do is science. So what I'm telling you is when somebody say man, you was in the dark and now you came to the light, you gonna naturally do it, because as a human response to distress, it's a human response to depression. You want to feel alive again. Okay. And so that's what it is. It's like you are in these moments of whatever, and you're going to do whatever you need to do to feel alive. Just like if I'm too fidgety, if I'm too hyper, I'm going to actually sit down and calm down. Like, I mean, for real, I could wake up so hype in the morning. Like, I'm talking about, I got Drake on, I'm up in this motherfucker bumping, but I mean, I'm getting down. I'm writing songs. I'm doing whatever I need to. Then for the rest of the day, I'm chill. Because it's like I had that hyper response, and now I'm going to go back. Now it's like I'm going down to calm, and that's okay. All of that is okay. It's just like you have to find a positive way to get it out. So that's all I was telling him. Is like everything we do is basically science. It's all these theories that come into one, and it's like nobody ever tells us about it because it's too much, you know. So it's like all these old sayings. We already understood life. We already understood the theories. It's just now that somebody took the time to write them down. So everything you write about, everything you do, is going to always come back to some educational theory. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. Okay. So anyway, after that, after the physiological needs, you have the safety needs, like your personal security, your employment, resources, health, and property. All these things are important. Now, for a man, I think it's more important because women have ways to be supported, right? We can go get food stamps. We can go get government assistance. We can go ask somebody for help. We can be a damsel in distress. We can be all these different things. But a man is always told to be a man. So this is what he's talking about right here. This is when it changes for us. And so now I understand what he's saying. When I think about this, keep going with me because, see, I got to think through it while I